Hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Smoldering Ember. Now, before I get into this review, full disclosure, this candle was sent to me by Kringle Candle in PR. However, you guys know I'm always going to keep it real with you. We're going to talk about the fragrance notes, what my nose is detecting, strength and throw, and whether or not I recommend this. So this is one of their large 2-wick tumblers. That is the only format that Kringle releases their reserve line in. The whole line is typically known by this like translucent black packaging. This is 100% soy wax, and these candles do retail for $34. This specific candle that I am reviewing has a pour date of July 17th, 2025. We have fragrance notes listed as top notes of lemon, orange, anise, and green, mid notes of vanilla, lavender, birch, base notes of smoky, leather, sandalwood, and cedar. Okay, so I think a lot of you guys are probably interested in my thoughts on this one, mainly because I am somebody who does not shy away from smoky fragrances. I like Bourbon Bonfire. They had a fragrance a couple of years ago at Kringle in the mercury jars known as Fireplace. I liked that one. They had a reserve fragrance in the summer of 2024 called Bonfire. I tend to like smoky fragrances. I also love a lot of like the hearth type of fragrances that Homeworks does. You guys all know one of my true loves is Winter Fireside from Homeworks. So I was very curious when I saw this Smoldering Ember. Here's the thing, you guys. I I feel mixed about this candle because initially I smelled this on cold and I was like, oh no, this is very, very smoky. I burned it inside my house and still thought, no, I cannot do that. However, I was committed to wanting to do a review on this one. I wasn't quite like, I wasn't quite sure that it was a fragrance that I wanted to declutter. So I went ahead and I burned it outside on my back patio. And I have to say, you guys, as weird as it sounds, I like this fragrance outside because I feel like that's where it fits. So let's go ahead and talk about what my nose is smelling here. Throw out all of the top notes that are listed there: lemon, orange, green, anise, maybe a little hint of like anise in there, but I am not getting anything citrusy, green. I'm not getting any vanilla or lavender. What my nose is detecting here is very smoky wood fragrances. So you got that sandalwood in there. I'm definitely getting a lot of cedar in terms of the smokiness. Like it's definitely like you have been burning birch and cedar. Those are the fragrances that I'm getting the most out of this. But again, it's very, very smoky, very authentic. I'm going to be really real with you guys, which is why I think I'm finding it a little bit overwhelming or just not a good fit inside of my home. But I am really enjoying it out on the back patio. Now, again, some people might say, well, why on earth would I have a candle to burn on my back patio? I know that my friend Melanie, Mr. Kong's mom, she has talked about quite frequently that, she has a nice outdoor entertaining area. And my husband and I actually kind of have the same thing. We have a nice covered patio. We have like an outdoor kitchen. And this is truly, you guys, the time of year where we tend to entertain a little bit more and actually enjoy our outdoor space because we live in Arizona. We don't have the winter experience that a lot of other people do have. So even like in the evenings here, it will get into like the 50s or something. So we'll have our fire pit going and have people over. So this is a fragrance that I actually have burned on the outdoor table here when I've had people over, and it does create like a nice aroma in the air, I would say. So if you're somebody, maybe you have like a gas fire pit, but you're missing like, you kind of want the ambiance of what a smoky fragrance would give you without having all of the smoke in your hair and obviously polluting the environment with the smoke. This might be a really good option. So we all know that Kringle likes to be a little bit more conceptual, and this, I will give it to them, is on the conceptual end. But again, for me personally, it's a little bit too smoky for me to enjoy inside of my home. Just because to me, it reminds me a lot more of like campfire, again, more so of like cedar and birch. burning. It's a nice fragrance outdoors. And I think it's maybe because the other reason why I might enjoy it outdoors more so is because there's something about this fragrance mixed with like the crispness of cold air that makes this more enjoyable. Whereas when I was burning this like inside of my house, I walked in and it felt out of place. It almost made me think like my house was on fire, which is not a very calming experience, right? Nobody wants to think of their house being on fire. So that's where I will say that I think this fragrance fits a specific type of just like a specific type of setting, in my opinion. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Interestingly enough, you guys, the wicks are doing really well here, but I am going to tell you guys that like the first third of this burn, the wicks were not very strong for me. Now, I will say this, because I was burning this primarily outdoors and it was colder air out there. I don't know if it's just that the cold air it was struggling with, but again, you guys, we're not talking like super, super cold air. We're talking air probably in the upper 50s. That's Fahrenheit here in the US. So I don't know. I found that the first third of this, I had some issues with the wicks. However, once I got past the halfway point, the wicks came to life a little bit more and I'm getting a little bit higher flame, which I think is helping a little bit with the strength and throw. Overall, you guys, this fragrance does have a strength and throw of about a 6 for me. It's not here's the thing. It felt like too much when I tried burning it in the closed concept bedroom. But even then, it's not like it was a super strong fragrance. Um, yeah, it wasn't, yeah, it just doesn't fit inside of my house. That's the best way that I could put it. But when I put it outside on my back patio, now I do have kind of like, again, it's a covered patio and we kind of have like a little nook. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll go take a picture and insert it right here. So that way you can see what I'm talking about of my back patio. But we kind of have like a little nook there, you know, as you walk out. So it's enough that when people are entering and exiting the back door on my home, they can smell it and enjoy it. And if we're sitting around the table, we can enjoy it. But it does throw over to, you know, like the fire pit area too. So overall, you guys, this is not going to be a repurchase for me, but I did end up deciding not to declutter it because, again, we are in the time of year where we are entertaining people sometimes on the weekends, in the evenings, outdoors, and I do feel like this fragrance kind of fits out there. So let me know in the comment section down below if you purchased this one. Or if this is going to be a pass for you. I do have an affiliate discount code with KRINGLE. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% on your purchase there. It typically only applies to full price items or your route protection. But if you're wanting to, you know, if there's sale items and you're wanting to throw some of these reserves in your cart to save on shipping, then my code will apply to those. Please know that the affiliate code is eligible for a commission. I do always like to be transparent about that. But overall, you guys, this one not going to be a repurchase for me, but again, I didn't declutter it. So I guess what will we put that? Maybe middle of the road. Again, not going to be one that I burn inside of my house. In fact, I can't wait to take it back outside right now because I'm like, nope, don't want my house smelling like this right now. So it's not a hate, not a love, one and done for me. So please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.